Conformity of norms. Norms are not formed by all groups in relation to every kind of behavior and every possible situation. They are formed in matters of consequence to a particular group. What matters are of consequence to a group depends upon the main purpose and goal of the group, the relationship of that group to other groups, and other conditions in which it operates. Likewise, the scope of behavior regulated by norms varies considerably in different groups. For example, the norms of some groups may pertain chiefly to ethical matter, while the norms of other group may cover a broader area of life, including dress forms of entertainment, education, and so on. Further, a social norms operative in one social system may not be operative in another. Thus, Mohammedan societies permit polygamy, but Christian ones do not. Likewise, norms do not apply equally to all members of society or to all situations. They are adjusted to the position people hold in the society and to the occupation they practice. Thus, what is proper for a woman is not always proper for a man, or what is proper for a doctor may not be proper for a teacher. Thus, conformity to norms is always qualified in view of the socially defined situations in which they apply. A norm by definition implies a sense of obligations. It lays down a standard of behavior which one ought to follow. Many of the problems of personality as well as society are mostly the problem of non-conformity to norms. Conformity to norms is normal. The individual, having internalized the norms, feels something like a need to conform. His conscience would bother him if he did not. Further, people who disapprove his actions if he violates the norms. Thus, both internalized needs and external sanction play an effective role in bringing about conformity to norms. The violators of norms suffer in the following kinds of sanction. Violator of norms suffer loss of prestige. Violators are subjected to ridicule, fine, imprisonment. By contrast, those who conforms to norms enjoy the expected cooperations from others, maintain good prestige in the group, and receive positive rewards such as praise, bonuses, and promotions. Three questions have been posed in regard to conformity of norms. Why are some behavior and attitudes subjected to normative control and others are not? Why is such conformity to norms found in some groups than in others? Why some member of a group conform more closely to norm than other? These three questions deal respectively with focus, extent, and distributions of conformity to norms.